Hey YouTube, it's Jaden again, and I'm coming at you with another updated deck buddy fight deck profile. This deck I've been meaning to bring you for some time now. I just hadn't had gotten all the cards together. Fortunately, there I have a very reliable friend I've used from ordering from in Singapore off eBay, and he has always come through for me. In the last few cards I was looking for to complete this, he was able to help me find and get, and I was very pleased about that. He's really cool. His name's Louis Salem, so if you need buddy fight cards, message him on eBay, and he will get you the best price and get them to you as soon as possible. And he's never let me down, not once. And he's the only guy I purchase buddy fight cards from on eBay anymore. But anywho, this is my fifth Omni deck profile. This is literally probably, no, it actually is. It was the first major deck that I built in Buddy Fight, the first major competitive one. I just, one second, I'm reaching over here to get something. I remember getting into Buddy Fight through my friend Jonathan, who unfortunately was killed about, I think it's been a year ago now, and I'm dead serious. He was killed. He was killed and shot about half a mile away from our game store, and it was very hard to talk about it. I wanted to do a video on it, but it was just too hard. It sucked not being there. It sucked not being able to go. He introduced me to the game. Everyone knows the story when I told it for the first time. I wasn't going to play Buddy Fight. I just wanted to play Vanguard, and then one day I was sick. I decided to watch just the Buddy Fight anime, and I liked it. And I saw Drum, and I saw Jack, and I saw Osmodai, and I just came up. I just got sucked in, and I'm glad I did, because it gave me a way to grow closer to Jonathan in about the 2 years that I had after. Because I knew him many years prior to that, because I played Yu-Gi-Oh with him for many years, but we weren't what you would call at that time close friends. Buddy Fight made us very close, and I'm very grateful for that. And it's something I'll always remember, and it's part of the reason I still play this game, and I love it, is because I remember playing with Jonathan so much. So, sorry guys. Whew, I got a little emotional there, and I apologize. But I remember him helping me build this deck for the first time with the original 5th Omni Drum, and he helped me work out the deck list and told me that I would be spending, a pretty penny on these. At the time this card was averaging $70, and it was absolutely insane. But it is looking at these cards, remembering Jonathan, remembering, the love of the game that he introduced me to and helped me get better at, and just talking to him and sharing ideas about the game and just growing closer as friends. It was so awesome to see and be a part of, and I miss him, and I hope wherever he is that he is happy. So this is an updated deck profile of my 5th Omni deck. So I'm going to just jump straight into this, guys. So enjoy. So for the buddy of my deck, I wrestled around with it because there are so many things that you could pick in the new 5th Omni deck that is a very reliable buddy monster. But I decided to pay homage to Jonathan, the monster that we bonded over, and my buddy monster is the new and improved Drum. The 5th Omni Super Dragon Sky Emperor Drum, and the fact that it has both Drum and Gao on it is very special to me, because me and Jonathan had a conversation once. Out of the two of us, he was mostly like Gao and I was mostly like Drum, and seeing both of them on the card, it kind of just, I just kind of imagine this is Jonathan, and he's in a way still here with me. So Drum, this new Drum is amazing. He is amazing. Call cost of 2 gauge. He still can't be called to the center, but whenever you take a damage, you destroy a monster on your opponent's field and gain a life. There's no longer a life restriction, and it's still not once per turn. He has double attack and soul guard, so he got a 1,000 power increase, a 1 crit decrease, a 1,000 power increase in defense, gain the double attack ability. His ability is now no longer life restricted to 6 life or less, and he is back better than ever, so Drum is my buddy. So, for the monsters, we play 4 copies of 5th Omni, Super Cavalry, Dragon, Sandstorm, Staff, Arcade. Size 3 monster with 6,000 power, 2 crits, and 6,000 defense. She is normally going to be placed in your center position. Her call cost is 2 gauge, and you put the top card of your deck into the gauge. When you are dealt damage, you put the top card of your deck into the gauge and gain 1 life. If it is your turn, you draw a card as well, and call up to 1 5th Omni monster in its card name from your hand by paying its call cost. And the cool thing is the monster that you call out through her ability is treated as a size 0 until it leaves the field. So it makes you able to swarm the field with your size 3 5th Omni monsters and just have so many different abilities that pop all at once. She is typically the one I see people using as their buddy. Or she's one of the popular choices just because of how central she is to the deck. So this is also an option for the buddy. Then we play our 4 copies in the main deck of Sky Emperor Drum. We've already covered him, but so important, so crucial, really brought the deck back to life. 4 copies of 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon, Double SD, and Megalux SD. It's a size 1 monster with 3,000 power, 1 crit, 1k defense. If you have another size 2 or greater armor dragon on your field, its size is reduced by 1, and so you can call this next to Arcade. When this is called, you take 2 damage, and you can search out any monster or item with 5th Omni in its card name, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Then you take 2 damage. So if you call it, you do have to search. It is non-negotiable. But this basically takes a 50 card deck and makes it 46. It is a searcher, and it lets you literally fetch anything you need. If you need Drum, if you need Arcade, if you need your weapon, it does not matter. It's a very, very good card. Next 3, 5th Omni Dragon, Mech Chaos Dokujin. Call cost, pay 2 gauge, and put the top card of your deck into its soul. This card is absolutely amazing. If you have 3 or more monsters on your field, this card gets plus 2,000 power and plus 2,000 defense, making it an 8/8 then. And it also gains Penetrate. Then when you are dealt damage for this turn, this card gets triple attack. So it is very amazing. The ability to have 3 monsters on your field and one of them having triple attack is absolutely insane. So very good card, and having Penetrate also is very good. 3 copies of 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon, Merrick SD. Used to be the buddy of the deck, but it is no longer the end-all be-all for the deck, but it is definitely still needed and a huge plus for the deck. It can be called next to any size 2 or 3 armor dragon, and it instantly becomes a size 0. 5,000 power, 2 crits, 1k defense. Its ability is take 1 damage, counter, and then you get to select a monster on your board, and it gains plus 1,000 attack and defense and penetrate. But the key is, is you can have this on your field, activated on your opponent's turn, and kick off your 5th Omni skills on their turn, and cause some very, very frustrating moments for your opponent. 3 copies of 5th Omni Dragon Lord Drum SD. Very, very, very good card. This card cannot be called to the center. It is counter ability, Act. You can use this On your turn, put the top card of your deck into the soul of a monster on your field, and you take 1 damage. It is an act ability, so you have to use it on your turn. You can only use it once, unfortunately, or else he'd be too broke. But he does have 4,000 power, 2 crits, and 1k defense, and you can use this to put more soul in your arcade or drum, or whatever monster you want, really. And then, so it is there. Unfortunately, he isn't a size 0. That would make him too broke, but you can call him next to arcade and make him a size 0, so there is that. So, very good card at 3. 2 copies of Grandpa Tenbu. This is a card that you could only run 1 of, and it is a card I am contemplating cutting 1 because you can search it with Megalex and a double SD. But he is a very good card. He is a 7,000 power, 3 crit, 7k defense monster. To call him, you have to pay 2 gauge and put a monster on your field into his soul. So you already have to have a monster on the field when you call him. And then whenever you take damage, he destroys every monster on your opponent's side of the field. So he is a very, very good card with double attack and soul guard. But he is searchable, so there is a chance that 1 will be cut for something else. So, but right now, 2's okay. But if you have drum already set up, you can usually just gauge this away. That's why 1 of these most likely will be cut. But it is a very, very good card. So if you do play 2 of them, or for the people who only play 2 ever, I can totally see why. The 1 copy of Hellfire, he is still a good card if you're playing against something that's very gauge heavy. He is kind of funny to drop if you go first against Godpunks, because you can take their gauge and build up your own gauge. True, they can just use that gauge back, but it is a pretty funny thing you can do and force them literally to just spend your gauge and limit their option there. He does have double attack and soul guard. So he only activates once per turn, though, so keep that in mind. He's very, very, very good against a Thora. If you drop him against a Thora and you just eat away their gauge or even Chaos, they just may not be able to do anything. But you only play 1 because he is searchable. 1 copy of 5th Omni, Armor Dragon, Thunderblade, Kyokyo. He is a size 2 monster with 3,000 power, 2 crits, and 2k defense. This is for the Godpunk mirror match. The Godpunk match. It's a very good card. It's an act ability that is not once per turn. You get to place the top 2 cards of your deck into the gauge, but then you take 2 damage. So, is a very good card. But he is there for the Godpunk match, so you can help gain gauge back. So, he is there, and he is a very good card. And then 1 copy of 5th Omni, Armored Dragon, Psychokinetic Kai. Cannot be called to the center, and then whenever you are dealt damage, you can destroy a spell on your opponent's field. There are a lot of set spells running around in Buddy Fight now, so he is a very good card to have, just to get rid of spells. We play our 4 copies of our weapon, our 5th Omni, Dragon Sword, Drago Brave. Really cool to see Drago Brave back. It was Gao's first weapon, so seeing it again is really, really cool. 5,000 power and 3 critical. Very awesome stats. Excuse me, guys. Equip cost. Pay 1 gauge, take 1 damage, and then you have to take 1 card from your hand and place it into the soul. And then this card can attack even if you have an armor dragon in your center. So the setup is just this. You get your arcade in the center, you get your weapon behind her, and you can still attack. So that is really, really cool. Your sword acts just like arcade. When you take damage, you get to put the top card of your deck into the gauge and gain a life. But if it's your turn, you get to do both of those plus draw a card. So that is very nice. So some people play, maybe 3 of this and 2 of something else, or they'll play only 2, or they might even, they'll be more creative with they'll mix up their items and maybe play another one. This is the only item that makes sense for me, and I want to max out on it because I want to increase my chances of opening up into it in my opening hand. One of our new spells that's absolutely amazing. 4 copies of Dragon Lord Quake Slash. Pay 1 gauge and take 1 damage. This allows you to destroy 1 monster on your opponent's field. Then, if you happen to have Drum on the field, you can deal your opponent 2 damage. So you can use this kind of cheesy. Say your opponent is in their main phase, you can cast it, deal them 2 damage, and then if, say, they're at 1 life and they go to their battle phase, bam, you can just end it right there. Very, very, very good card. Kind of acts like a little impact in that kind of way. 4 copies of Drago Guts. This card is an MVP of 5th Omni. It always has been. Take 1 damage, gain 3 life. Mainly used just to crack off 5th Omni skills. This card, if you've played against 5th Omni, you've seen it. And if you play 5th Omni, you know how good it is. 4 copies of Drago Wisdom Knowledge of the 5th Omni are simple. Take 1 damage, gauge and draw a card. Helps us start plays on our own turn. Gets us another card. It replaces itself and gauge. Amazing. 3 copies of Loud Voice. This card can only be played at 1 of in a Thunder Emperor Fangs deck, but in other Dragon World decks you can max out on it. Loud Voice is an amazing card, and I would be playing probably 4, but for some reason I cannot find my 4th. I know I have a 4th somewhere, I just need to look. But Loud Voice, so amazing. This does so good against so many matchups. Cast it, discard any number of cards from your hand. For each card you discard, your opponent's monsters loses 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense, and +1 critical for every card you discard. This card is absolutely amazing. 2 copies of Sky Dragon Divinity. This card is just good. If you see it in the early game, you can return your combo pieces that you want to hold on to, like your drums and arcades and stuff like that, back to your deck and draw 2. You don't want to max out on this card because once you have 11 cards in your drop zone, this card's dead. But for the early game, if you see it, it is a very, very nice card. And then lastly, we play 3 copies of Drago Bright 5th Omni Light. Take a damage and take any 5th Omni monster from your drop zone and put it into your hand, and you get to put the top card of your deck into the gauge. So very good card, helps you salvage some monsters out of the drop zone and put them back into your hand. Now, as for sideboard, I haven't built it yet, so I thought I did, but I forgot that I hadn't. But anyway, guys, this is my 5th Omni deck. It is a very special deck to me for the reasons that I talked about at the early stage of the video. I am so glad to finally bring you the updated version of it because Drum is so special to me for so many reasons. So I hope you enjoyed this deck profile, guys. If you have any suggestions or ideas for the deck, I would love to hear your ideas. So please feel free to share them with me down below. And always feel free to, suggest a video or something else that you would like to see. I always like to hear from you guys. Sorry it's been so long, but I hope these 6 new videos I'll be posting for you guys will keep you busy for a while. So let me know what you guys want to see next or in the future. There are more deck profiles that I am planning on bringing you. So I hope you very much appreciated this. It's been nice to talk to you guys again. So hope you're all doing well wherever you are. Again, I will be attending the Houston Regional in June, so I hope to see you there. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up the video for me, and I'll see you next time.